It's a great day to be a golden eagle. You're in the nest. Wherever you're listening, however you're listening, with whatever you're listening, whenever you're listening. We are on the campus of Cornerstone University in the bitterly cold Grand Rapids, Michigan. Guys, it's horrible out there.
Oh yeah. I had to walk over here, and it's so cold. My face was red from the first couple steps I walked out of my dorm.
I cried when I got out of my car. It's a high of 12, low of 6 today in GR. Nate Wangler, Tim McTighe, and Luke Schrock joining me in the studio this morning. Got a lot to get to. There was a discussion that we had the other day. It was right after the basketball game. We were all walking by Aaron's office, me, you, Tim, and Zach, and I don't know who said it, but out of the corner of my ear, all of a sudden I hear someone go, I think I like pro sports more than I like college sports. Whoa, 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 whoa. Everyone had a problem with that. And I don't know if that was Tim or if that was Zach, but it was pretty unanimous that everyone was like, listen, college sports is a little bit better. Now, what makes college sports so special is that in order to succeed, everyone has to be pointed in the same direction. I like pro sports, okay? The talent level is a lot bigger in pro sports. In college sports, though, it's magical because if not everyone's firing on the same cylinder, it's just not going to work out. Players, coaches development, fans, donors, the list goes on. In other words, in a generation of me, with more talent on all levels than what some programs know what to do with, it is now, winning is now and will always be about we. Christian Rodriguez said something the other day that in my mind proves CU basketball is and will forever be, as long as Coach Elders is here, one of the premier programs the nation has to offer. That in a little bit, but for now, let's get you your minute recap.
This is your 1 minute recap.
CU Hoops squared off against Rochester in their annual Purple Shooting for a Cure game a couple nights ago. Cornerstone women's basketball lost 74-59 to the Racers. Standout player senior Taylor Richards picked up 17 points. The Cornerstone women's basketball team now 2-22 overall on the season and 1-13 in the WAC. Cornerstone men's basketball, on the other hand, won 89-70 against Rochester and got a balanced attack. Slice, 26 points. Christian Rodriguez, 21. Carter Knight, 14. Baker, 11. CU's now 19-5 overall, 12-2 in the WAC. Riley Costin went down with what seemed to be some foot irritation. He injured it down in Florida Memorial. We'll see what happens there. And that is your minute recap. Winners deal with criticism in majority the same way. Luke, you and I talked about this. Winners deal with criticism majority the same way. They're inspired by it. Say I can't do it? Cool. Watch me do it. Critical of my work? Cool. Watch me outwork you and laugh about it while I'm doing it. Same works with teams. Recently there was video surfaced of Julian Edelman yelling at Tom Brady, "You're too old! You're too old! You're too slow!" The media, too slow, too old, no targets. But what Tom and Bill, like the legends they are, have gotten everyone to do is buy in to the system. Buy in to the mentality that, listen, on paper we're not the best, but it's us and it's everyone else. It's Boston and then it's everyone else. Winning teams, winning programs, winning organizations do one thing and one thing perfectly, and that's get everyone to buy into the vision that it's us and then it's everyone else. Cornerstone basketball took on Rochester a couple nights ago, and on paper, whew, Rochester. 3 D1 transfers, Danilo Gallinari's brother is a freshman guard on the team. Arguably faster, arguably more athletic, more hype. Made the WAC championship last year. They do that jump dunk thingy that everyone loves. One guy jumps up and dunks, and we all land at the same time. Woo! It's great. We beat them by 19. And what Christian Rodriguez said to our own Zach Canaliche after the game speaks more volumes to the type of program this is. Here it is.
You know, a lot of people were mentioning this year, you know, with Kyle gone, would this be as good of a team, you know? You guys look just as sharp without him.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about what's been in the locker room to make this happen.
Laser focus. We knew that was going to come in. That was going to be the word around that, oh, we're not going to be as good as this year. We're playing with a pit bull dog mentality. We're playing confident. We're just having fun out there. We're playing our basketball.
Pit bull dog mentality. Quote, we knew that's what people were saying coming in. We're not going to be as good as last year. You're without Kyle. You're without Mike. You're without some of the great guys that won that championship. Folks, they've been saying this every year. Michael McLaughlin, graduating. Marquise Hatter hurt. What are we going to do? They're not going to be good. There's no way. Hey, as it turns out, we got this kid Christian. Smart, tough, skilled, good family, bought into the system. Corey Cox graduating. Oh, you can't fill that void. I'm sorry. You just can't. There's some guys you can replace. He's not one of them. He broke the school record for threes made at 343. Who else can shoot? Oh, hey, as it turns out, Michael Bradshaw's got the shooting touch. Oh, wait, the same Michael Bradshaw that played the majority of games on JV his freshman year? That Michael Bradshaw? Yeah, that Michael Bradshaw. Kyle Stegginga graduating. Okay, all right. It's fun. Joke's over. It was a good run. Good job. Elders and the boys. Woo, we're done. That's it. No more talent. Oh, wait, we still have his long-lost teammate, Sam Vanderslice, who got no offers coming out of college, and I don't really need, offers coming out of high school, and I don't really need to comment on his skill set. I'm pretty sure you guys already know. Costin goes down to injury. Cool. Next guy up. You ever wonder why D1 programs won't schedule us? Forget D2. Let's talk about D1. They'll schedule Aquinas. Western played AQ earlier this year. Pounded them 99-52. Should have seen the post-game press conference. Oh, yeah, it was cool. We got to get a lot of guys in. It's cool. It's like a practice, We'll schedule Florida Memorial. Florida Atlantic pounded them, and so did we. CMU scheduled Cornerstone back in 2010, for those of you who don't know, and on paper that's a blowout. I wouldn't expect anything less. Cornerstone lost by 3. 3 points. Think we had more talent? Think we had better overall team, better athletes? You think we were faster with more bounceability? No. See, what Coach Elders does is he recruits and he teaches like the greats. I like to compare him to like a Greg Popovich type coach. He teaches his guys to buy in to the winning system. And what Christian said a couple nights ago spoke volumes. Doubt us? Say we're not going to be good? Cool. It's us, and it's everyone else. Watch us prove you wrong.
It's time for our national segment.
Moving on to our national segment. Okay, a couple big questions today. In life, it's really okay to make mistakes. It is, right? We make them all the time. The best in every field oftentimes fall more than they're willing to admit. probably fail more than others even attempt. That's okay. But what you don't want to do is make the same mistakes over and over and over again, because that's when you run into trouble. The NBA media is doing exactly that. James Harden, 261 points in 5 games and all of them unassisted. Oh, great. Oh, goody. Put up a career-high 61 points as they beat the ever-dysfunctional Knicks by 4 points. Fact, in one of those games, they lost to the Brooklyn Nets. In the other one, they beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, the worst team in the NBA, bar none. In basketball, there's the stat, guys. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's called usage rate. Harden has the highest usage rate in the NBA by a landslide, playing a level of iso ball that we've never, frankly, seen before. And here's the kicker. Here's the thing that a lot of people don't know. The top 8 usage rates in the history of the NBA did not win a playoff series that season. On that list, Michael Jordan, before he got Scottie Pippen. Swept in the first round. You want to know who else is on that list? Not once, but twice. Russell Westbrook. You wonder why guys don't want to play with Russ? There it is. It's really not that hard. Whoa, Nate, I mean, what about Bron? I mean, come on. Bron's an iso ball guy. Mm-hmm. Bron took the Cavs to the finals by himself. No, what Bron does, Bron leads teams in every statistical category. Bron makes guys around him look like NBA players because he's so good.
Well, he even coaches them up, too. Like, you look at the stats, and I know most people don't say Lonzo did much from last season to this season. You look at his gameplay that you don't see on the stat sheet, his leadership while LeBron is gone. Kuzma, he's putting up huge numbers. So, really, the supporting cast under LeBron, it's not a toxic environment. They're stepping up to LeBron's leadership and buying into his principles. We talked about the principles earlier.
Yeah, and Lonzo is a team guy. You see Harden getting boards? You see Harden playing D? No, he's not. So my question is to you guys. Sorry, I almost got to this. Good job. Good job there. My question to you guys is quite simply, is the media overhyping James Harden in January?
Honestly, it's kind of hard to tell, to be completely honest with you, because every single game, in my opinion, no matter if it's the beginning of the season, end of the season, middle of the season, January, February, whatever, every single day something else can happen. You can lose somebody else in your supporting cast. You yourself, speaking as James Harden, could get injured. Something could happen, good or bad, at any point in the season. So really, to put a specific month that you are assigned to supposedly fail at, I don't buy into that.
Well, and not only that, but like, guys, late May, early June, that's when you gotta win. Mm-hmm. That's when it matters in the NBA.
Yeah, that's the push for the playoffs.
Yeah. And part of me thinks, and I heard this theory the other day, and part of me is like, oh, okay, I agree, that makes sense. The NFL media is pulling away. I don't know if you guys know. Got the Super Bowl coming up. It's the most watched, most celebrated sport out of all the professional sports in America. We got the Super Bowl coming up. In the NBA, like every other sport, the ratings are tanking. So they got to have some sort of narrative to go by.
I would say most of the reason why the NBA ratings are dropping is, like I said before to you guys the other day, the NBA is so dang predictable. I look at it once, and I'm like, oh, gee, this team's going to win.
Tim's that guy.
If it's the Warriors.
The NBA is predictable.
If it's the Warriors and the Sacramento Kings, you know dang well who's going to win that one.
We'll get to predictable in just a second. Keep going.
Yeah. even the Houston Rockets against the Oklahoma City Thunder, you pretty much know well if Harden is a beast like he is, somewhat, according to your guys earlier, the Houston Rockets are going to win. And even put them in a playoff series together, I'd say the Rockets in 6. And I just heard the other day
against
on
the
Colin's
Warriors?
show, no, it's the Rockets against the Thunder.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, I was
I
just going to
heard
say
that
that
wrong.
for a
I
second.
You're good. I heard the other day that Paul George is the new face of the Oklahoma City Thunder, and that he's the one high enough than Russell Westbrook, which I can agree on, actually. I've always liked Paul George. I played in the same conference as him. Well, not literally, but I'm a Bulls fan. And seeing, playing the Pacers every now and then can be a bit annoying. And when you see a guy like Paul George being underrepresented in the Eastern Conference, in an incredibly weak Eastern Conference, you feel bad for the guy. It's like, oh, he deserves better. He needs a real team like the Warriors or the Rockets.
He got the lettuce. He got the green.
The rumors are still going around that he's going to be a Los Angeles Laker with LeBron James, which would be pretty dang cool.
It'd be cool, but I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I don't see it either. But
it's with that massive contract that he signed, he basically said, "Listen, this is my home for the foreseeable future. Enjoy the lettuce, enjoy the money." It's not going to turn out well for you, guy. You got a good team. If only Russ didn't hog the ball. I was watching a game a couple nights ago. He almost got a triple-double. He went 7 for 30.
Yikes.
You know who gets the rest of those rebounds? Paul George and company, and Steven Adams. But that's what Steven Adams is good for, rebounds and defense. Guys, usage rate's a real thing. The NBA media won't tell you because they don't want to make it predictable. Guys like us are the ones who are Debbie Downers. We're going to bring it back down to earth. That's what we do. That's who we are. As podcasters, as people who want to be media people, we have strong opinions, and we're brutally honest. Okay? Stop overhyping James Harden. Great. Yeah, he scored. Woo! All of them were unassisted. You want to know who I'm more impressed by?
Who?
Klay Thompson. If you can score 44 points and all of them are assisted, that's a good team. That's why Golden State has a dynasty, not just a talented roster. That's why Cornerstone has a dynasty, not just a talented team. In the WAC, I'd say we're darn near not the most talented team in the conference, let alone the country, but we're still top 10 nearly every single year. Is it because we have the athletes that can jump higher, run faster, with more hype, and with the fight song and the students and the... No. We have a system that works.
And there's just many players that fit that system. I mean, if you wrote down at least a few of the big contributors, Costin, he's that guy who can drive, he can shoot the 3-ball. He's not the most... we've seen him almost fail at dribbling around defenders in like a half-court, full-court situation.
A little lengthy.
But they pass it around. They get the ball movement going. I'm looking at Kyle Hayes. He's a double threat. That 3-ball, post presence, uses that height to just bully people down low, get the rebounds, help slice out down low to get rebounds. And it's just those kind of things that mount up to make Cornerstone that dynasty that we were saying.
Kyle Hayes has really come into his own lately. I'm surprised. I'm thankful you mentioned that because he, ever since the beginning of the year, he looked a little shy, a little hesitant. You could see it in his jump shot, but he's really come into his own lately. I'm surprised by him, and I think there's definitely some special things yet to come. Let me move on to this. It's clear to me that the Patriots are the most hated franchise in the entire NFL. My big question of the day is really not hard to answer, at least in my mind. Because winning breeds hate. Doesn't matter who you are. If you win a lot and you win consistently, someone's going to have a problem with you. Supermodel wife, got the trophies, got the kid. kids. I think he has multiple kids, doesn't he?
I think so. Last time I heard.
Yeah, he's got a pretty.
I'm not creepy. I don't keep track on his whole family.
Yeah, I'm not really.
Anyways.
That part.
Multi-million dollars, makes it look easy. And the thing is, he has a great smile, and he's just your typical American dad, and people hate that. We want flashy. We want run-around guy. We want guys slinging it down the field. Aaron Rodgers extending plays, making big things. That's not who Brady is. He's methodical. He's death by 1,000 cuts. Fact, Bill and Tom have made it to more championships, as we mentioned earlier, than 97 other sports franchises. And yes, I'm going to list all of them. I hope you guys are ready. In the MLB, Orioles, Phillies, Pirates, Indians, Twins, White Sox, Mets, Royals, Astros, Blue Jays, Rangers, Angels, Marlins, Padres, Brewers, Rays, D-backs, Rockies, Nationals, and the Mariners. In the NBA, Pistons, Spurs, Bulls, Knicks, Hawks, Cavs, Rockets, Heat, Wizards, Trail Blazers, Mavs, Thunder, Bucks, Nets, Magic, Suns, Jazz, Kings, Clippers, Pacers, T-Wolves, Hornets, Grizzlies, Raptors, Pelicans, and the Nuggets. In the NHL, Flyers, Oilers, Islanders, Devils, Stars, Blues, Flames, Kings, Penguins, Ducks, Avs, Canucks, Hurricanes, Lightning, Panthers, Capitals, Bills, Knights. Really only their second year. Okay, all right. Okay, I'm willing to qualify that. Sabres, Jets, Sharks, Senators, Blue Jackets, Wild, and the Coyotes. And last but not least, in the NFL, every other team in their division is on this list. Bills, Dolphins, Jets, Jags, Colts, Raiders, Chargers, Titans, Chiefs, Broncos, Vikings, Panthers, Bucks, Falcons, Bengals, Rams, Eagles, Cowboys, 49ers, Seahawks, Cardinals, Steelers, Saints, Ravens, and the worst franchise in the entire NFL, the Detroit Lions. It's really, really simple to me why they're hated. Listen, because winning breeds hate. Doesn't matter who you are. You could be the best person on the face of the earth with the best family. People are still going to hate you. 50%, what is so amazing about Tom Brady and the Patriots is it's hard to win in the NFL. It's so unpredictable. But what's harder in the NFL is maintaining success. You can win. Cool. Yeah, teams win all the time. Heck, the Lions went to the playoffs not too long ago. They looked like they couldn't beat a freaking college team at the end of last year. 50%, nearly 50%, or right around 50% of playoff teams in the NFL don't make the playoffs the following year. The Atlanta Falcons. Case study 1. It's an easy answer to me, because not only does he win, but he sustains his winning ways through darn near 2 decades by now.
Well, it just seems that our culture today, it's one of those things that everyone expects your popular person, your celebrity, to be this flashy guy. You mentioned that a little bit. Our culture is always looking for the next new thing. That's why I would say the MLB is still maintaining its popularity, because there's always a new team that's making it to the World Series, a new set of teams. Granted, there's always some similar competitors, the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Dodgers on occasion. But you think about it this way.
The Cubs.
Who
who lost 2 straight games and had their season end prematurely last year.
Literally blew the division to the Milwaukee Brewers.
And didn't make that great of moves in the offseason for trades, but, I mean, that's a conversation for another day, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
we'll get to MLB talk. We'll get to that, yeah.
But, yes, so our culture, man, it's just one of those things where they're looking for the next new thing. They're looking for this flashy guy that everyone can say, hey, man, I'd love to have his life one day. Sure, people are still saying they'd love to have Tom Brady's life. But it's not that flashy and face in the camera all the time kind of life.
You mentioned new shiny thing. That's so true. That's the media. That's the U.S. That's everyone. Everyone wants that new guy coming into the league that they go, whoa, look at this dude. Okay? Patrick Mahomes was that guy this year. Patrick Mahomes deserved all the praise, though, because Patrick Mahomes is really good. I don't know if you guys realize that. He's really, really good. But one prime example of a guy who's a part of that older group has been in the league for a little bit, and a guy that's overlooked and undervalued is one Russell Wilson. And I said this to you guys the other day. The NFL GMs put him as a tier 2 quarterback. He's boring. You know, we've seen Russell. He's been in the league. Majority rebuilding team. You know, Russell Wilson had the highest fourth quarter QBR in the history of the NFL. Russell Wilson ran for 580 yards of his team's nearly 1,500 rushing yards and passed for a whole lot more. He's a magician. He runs that offense practically by himself with the defensive head coach and Pete Carroll. Everyone falls in love with the new thing, right?
Yep.
It's just how it goes.
Well,
Everyone wants the new winner.
Well, and here's another quarterback for an example, Drew Brees. I think he's very similar to Tom Brady in how he conducts himself. That same clean-cut, nice family, good man. And he's been in and out of the playoffs for the last, I would say, 6-ish years? He's been that quiet character, that quiet confidence that has, with the likes of losing Reggie Bush years ago, having Michael Thomas come in after that and fill that big of a role and lead this offense to the success that was almost this year, still made it to the playoffs, one call, one OT failure, and they're out of the Super Bowl. And you think about it this way. He is very similar to that sense, but there's just that one missing component.
Get your hand off the mic.
It keeps
Is
dropping.
it is dropping?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or else I would take it off.
Yeah, Luke over here trying to hold the mic up in front of his face.
Yeah, I'm just like grasping his whole life,
We had
trying to
visual
keep
that
it
you have
still.
pretty sight.
We can hear you, buddy, loud and clear. No, completely. And, you know, I guess I don't see where the hate comes from. Now, I'm a Michigan guy. That's why I like Brady. You know, graduated from Michigan.
Sure.
But, like, it's true. Come on. You know, Michigan was a very run-heavy team, so they didn't very much. I don't know if Lloyd Carr turned Brady into the special guy he is today, but hey, you know, Bill Belichick, man.
He's pretty high in the draft too, so I mean, you never know.
Death by 1,000 cuts, guys. I don't care if you throw all bubble screens. If you get the ball down the field and put it in the end zone, and if you score more points than the other team, you win.
And you're getting paid the bucks.
And you're getting paid the bucks. But here's the thing. Brady's taken pay cuts nearly his entire career. You know what Braun does when he's not getting paid enough and not winning? See you guys. I'm out again, this time to L.A. You know what a lot of other professional athletes do? Sorry, I'm out. I'm going to go join a better team with more superstars. Of course, that's just the NBA. You get a collection of all-stars. You're most likely going to win a title or 2 or 3. In the NFL, superstars go to superstar teams because they can get paid more. Tom Brady's taken pay cuts his entire career and is playing with a team that the entire year that we were saying, the Pats, really? Brady's an old man. This team can't do it.
I mean, they said the same thing about Ben Roethlisberger a couple years ago. He's an old man, you know, but the Steelers have significant talent with Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell, which, by the way, I still can't believe this team blew the AFC North to the Baltimore Ravens. Like, don't get me wrong, okay, guys? The Ravens have a significant, probably the best defense besides the Chicago Bears in the entire NFL. But what they looked so flat against the Los Angeles Chargers, which I don't want to call them the Los Angeles Chargers. I want to call them the San Diego Chargers or the Oakland Chargers or wherever they're going to end up in about a year or two.
Yeah.
Which God knows where they're going to go.
Oh, somewhere in California. You never know.
just having to watch that team at the end of the year have to get on their knees and pray that Baker Mayfield and the Browns would somehow pull out the win so that their most talented roster in the NFL could make the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know what that is, guys? That's ego. That's me.
Mm-hmm.
That's Antonio Brown. Ever wonder why no one's picked up the guy yet? Because he's a big baby.
Mm-hmm. No one
He
wants
threw
that
a
much.
ball at Ben Roethlisberger. Threw a ball at him. Because he was mad. Guys, we're taught in elementary school. Keep your hands to yourself. Don't throw things. If I were mad at Luke and I went, you think that would ever solve anything?
That paper ball had good curve on it, though. I'm impressed.
You saw that? It
Good-
almost looked
good
like a
two-seam
screwball.
run.
Like it
Yeah,
came
looked
back
like
and almost,
two-seam run.
It honestly looked better than the
I was
entire
impressed.
Steelers
you know,
team.
if I threw something at Zach, if I threw something at my teacher, if I threw something at, you think that would solve anything? You think that would make anything better? No. The Steelers were a red hot mess.
Yeah.
You could have all the talent in the world if you don't have the mentality of winning the way the Pats do, the way Cornerstone Basketball does, the way the Golden State Warriors do, the way that all these other winning programs, winning franchises do. You're not going to win. So while AB's sitting at home, and I honestly think the Lions should pick him up, because why not? Why not?
Yeah, and
At this point, who cares, right? you can't get any worse. That's a fact.
probably be the next Calvin Johnson. Who knows?
Maybe. Maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know. I think it's pretty simple why the Patriots are the most hated franchise in
Oh yeah.
the NFL. Because they win.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't just win, they win consistently.
I got to go back to the Steelers for a second because what screws with me the most is that Coach Tomlin is allowing all of this to happen. If I was a coach, I'd be like, knock it off right now. Like, I'd be right in their faces.
What happened to Josh
Whatever.
Gordon?
Yeah. I mean, he's, would have went to a Super Bowl if he didn't get injured.
Josh Gordon?
Yeah.
They got rid of him. They didn't throw
Well, yeah,
him.
they basically got rid of him, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Attitude.
mm-hmm.
Ego. Jimmy Garoppolo wins one game. What does Brady said? He says, get rid of him. I don't want him on the team. Ego. Big ego guy. Bill says, okay, all right, cool. Gotcha.
Well, that also speaks to the team culture. Like Tim said, some people, or in his case, himself, would oust or punish a guy with an ego issue because that kind of a thing is like a cancer to a team. You think about it in the sense of Tom Brady. He cares so much about his team, about his city, that he's not going to let anything get in the way of their success.
Mm-hmm. He buys in.
He does.
He buys in. And everyone, it's the most overused term, I think, whenever guys talk about, teams. They're like, family. They're my family. Really? Really? Cornerstone Baseball. You guys are one big happy family.
I mean, we have our fights once in a while,
Yeah.
but I think it's a good representation
Like every
for
family.
us.
Like every family.
Yeah,
Not perfect.
like every family.
But you guys are still building.
Yeah, every year.
You guys had your first winning season since the reinstatement of the program last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's family. You guys are doing well. You guys are building something.
And we're bringing in more guys from all over the place.
New guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Better training. Better facility. Better surrounding cast. Family. Cornerstone Basketball. We don't rebuild. We just reload. And whatever guys that we have on the team buy into the system. It's my firm belief that Cornerstone Women's Basketball will get there as well.
Mm-hmm.
They will get there. Because they put up a fight in every game, and it seems like whenever they're down, they could be down by, they could be down by 40. But if someone hits a shot, everyone's back on their feet again.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's screaming again.
Ellen Kresge last game.
Yeah.
Like, that was insane. It was a whole different team in that fourth quarter. And granted, that first half was the best basketball they played all season.
Yeah.
But that fourth quarter, when Ellen Kresge started just making her best impression of Shannon Dembest in last season, let's be honest here.
Oh, man.
The hustle, the rebounds.
I miss her.
I do too.
Oh my gosh, I see her warming up for track whenever we get ready for the basketball games, and I'm like, hey, can you just throw on a uniform for one game?
Just a
That's
couple
all I
games,
need you for. Just go body up. Just go knock some girls to the ground. Really doesn't matter. We need you for just one game. No, it's true.
Just
It's
get a
true.
couple boards for us. Let us put up a few more points.
You don't even have to make a shot. Just get rebounds.
Yeah, just get rebounds.
Just get rebounds. Dish it out. We'll have Charity Engelwright take 3 threes and hit all 3 in a row, and there. Now we lead by 9 or whatever.
And one of them be like heavily contested, hand in her face, practically to her nose, up and over the hand and in.
I don't care. Foul out in the first quarter for all, or the first half for all I care. It really doesn't matter.
Be the enforcer of basketball.
Yeah, we need a mean streak on that team. But guys, that's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
You got to buy in.
Yep.
Because if you don't buy in, you can have, you could have the 10 disciples on a team.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to win unless you have a face and unless you have someone that not only demands your respect, kind of like the way Coach Chuck does, Coach Elders does, Coach Yonkers does. You need people to buy in. Any last thoughts?
I do want to kind of say something real quick. Every team goes through this. Every team has a point where all hope is lost and that they're just going to continue to struggle. They're going to continue to tank, are today's terms.
Mm-hmm.
And, every team has gone through this, okay? Like, let's talk about the NHL for a second here. The Chicago Blackhawks, before Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane, were awful.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible.
For 50 years.
They had the worst, I think in 2006, they had the worst attendance in the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the worst in the overall history. The Pittsburgh Penguins, before Sidney Crosby, the best overall player right now, was terrible. They were going to move to Vegas. They were going to become the Vegas Penguins.
Oh, jeez.
And they somehow didn't. All of a sudden, Sidney Crosby comes, and it's like, oh, the juggernaut train's going again.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like every team does it. Even the Patriots before Tom Brady, they were awful, terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, one move can make a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why, going back to what we said earlier in the podcast, Tom Brady's hated so much because they constantly win. When you're the Bills, when you're the Jets, and the Dolphins, you hate this guy just because he constantly is sweeping you in the season, or somewhat. The Miami Miracle that happened earlier this year says otherwise.
Yeah.
My high school football coach used to say, when things are going great, haters are going to hate.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how good you are. Steph Curry, obviously, is the biggest example. He wins. I don't even know his 3-point field goal percentage off the top of my head, but it's pretty dang high.
Yeah.
You just know it's going in.
Right. And I was hesitant to bring up this example because I went to a Catholic high school, and I know how people are with Catholic high schools around here. Oh, they recruit. Get off your high horse, okay? We had a couple guys on our team, maybe 2 at the most. One of them was injured 99% of the time that might have received a little bit of scholarship assistance. The rest of it, though, was homegrown. Guys who went to the middle schools, guys who went to local area elementary schools that were coming into the program. We won 5 straight state championships. 5 straight. People hated West Catholic High School. Probably still do hate West Catholic High School. I remember there was a scandal that they called Cheating Gate.
Oh boy. Are you serious?
Cedar Springs High School. I worked for the Michigan Sports Radio, the station that covered the team. And I was an on-field reporter. Well, we didn't have the technology to send signals down and back up. So what I had to do was I had to go down to the field. I had to take notes on the game, and then I would run back up to the radio press box, and I would give my reports on air, and they would pretend like I was down in the field. Well, the fans, after going up 14-0 and then going down 21-14, said, "Who's this kid running up and down the stands from the sidelines?" That was me. They wanted my head in Cedar Springs. There were pictures of me. There were posts, Facebook posts. Look out for this guy. West Catholic's dirty. West Catholic cheats. No, West Catholic has a better coach with a better system and guys who have completely bought into the system. That's why they win. And they win a lot.
You could say the same thing about the Patriots.
Yeah. Cheating, yeah. Deflate gate.
I
This
saw
gate,
this.
that gate. You know, did you see the laser pointer the other day? I don't know if you saw that on the news.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, the laser. If that was in Foxborough, oh my God, we'd have laser gate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Patrick Mahomes couldn't see. There was a laser in his eye. We got laser gate, right?
Yeah.
You know, if that was me in Foxborough running up and down, oh my God, we got news reporter intern gate. Something gate. Something gate. There's got to be a reason why they keep winning. It can't just be because they're legends. It has to be because someone's fair on cheating, right? Got to blame someone.
Yeah. There was a funny story the other day. This kid went to a science fair convention, and he was legitimately trying to prove that Tom Brady was a cheater. And, you know, that just got a good laugh out of me. It went viral all over Facebook
That'd be a
and
great
Twitter.
conspiracy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It still
put
is
that
a
one out there.
conspiracy.
He's
And you
part
know
bionic,
what?
man.
You know what my response is? Russell Wilson should have ran the ball. That's my response
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
this whole Deflategate wouldn't
Yeah.
have been an issue.
Yep.
Yep, and the
The
Saints
Falcons should have held on to their
Yeah, they had
massive lead that they had at the end of the
28.
game.
They had a 28-3 lead at halftime.
Oh, man.
And no supporting offense after that. And I still can't believe to this day that a team that offensively built with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones.
Julio Jones.
Nice.
Some people say Julio,
Nice.
some people say Julio.
Julio Jones.
But you can't tell me that the Atlanta Falcons blew a 25-point lead. I don't care if it's Tom Brady. I don't care if it's Joe Montana.
Yeah.
You cannot tell me that. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, last year we were gifted with probably the best Super Bowl in history.
Yeah.
The New England Patriots against the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, my brother-in-law, he's a big Eagles fan, huge. He lives an hour away from Philly. When Carson Wentz went down, they were like, "Oh no, here it goes." You know, with a franchise with 0 rings, you know, this is just how it's going to be. We're cursed. This is how it's going to happen. And then Nick Foles comes out of nowhere and plays against Tom Brady in Super Bowl 52 and scores 41 points.
Yeah. Yeah.
Against Bill Belichick and his defense, which I would argue that was one of the worst Super Bowl defenses I've ever seen.
Yeah.
To allow 41 points. You know, you'd think, what was it, 33? Yeah. Tom Brady scored 33. You would think that'd be enough to win a Super Bowl.
Was it 33? I don't know.
I think it was 41-33.
Correct
me if I'm wrong.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
Correct me if I'm wrong. But, you know, you would think 33 or 34 or whatever would be enough to win a Super Bowl. Wrong.
Yeah.
41-33.
Gotta blame
You know,
someone,
again,
man.
correct me if I'm wrong. But that's just unreal.
Yeah.
You know, that last year, the Super Bowl had the most passing yards in any NFL game in the history of the league.
Yeah.
I think it was over 1,000 something. I think each team had over 500 passing yards. You know, Tom Brady, as old as he is, was still his all-time greatest.
Yeah. You gotta blame someone, man. You know, Rams Saints. Blame the refs. Okay, you can blame the refs. I get that. You know, that would
That
have
was
been
legitimate, though,
first
for
and
some.
goal. Could have taken a couple knees, kicked it in, won the game, gone to the Super Bowl. I get that. Sean Payton was outcoached the last half of that game. The Rams had more turnovers than first downs in the first quarter. Won. They were down 13-0. Couldn't hear themselves think. And the Saints were forced to settle for field goals within 10 yards of the goal line. Drew Brees was outplayed by Jared Goff that entire game. Oh, and the overtime rule that we're all, oh, it's so unfair. Oh, you got to give the other guy a chance. Who won the coin flip in the Rams Saints games? Oh, that's right. It was Drew Brees. And what happened?
Interception.
Interception.
right off the bat.
They didn't win the football game. Same thing happened to the Pats. You know, just one freaking guy like lined off on sides. But
Well, here's one big statistic that I got from that game. I heard and I saw that there was only 50 rushing yards.
yeah,
The whole
total.
game. 50
For the
total
Saints.
rushing yards for the
Yeah,
Saints.
big.
Yikes.
You cannot have that.
Can't win a football game. You're only rushing for 50 yards.
Not when you have
and
Alvin Kamara.
if you're playing with an older Drew Brees who can't make the magical downfield play the way he used to. Got a good arm, but he's not the same type of quarterback that he used to be, with a quarterback rating of 88 in his last 4 games. I don't know. You know, there's a reason for everything, but when it comes to winners, you gotta have a reason, and people are willing to make every excuse as to why they're not winning, and the guy across the street with the better car, the better wife, more money, better job, there's got to be a reason why he's doing it. Got to be cheating, right? Got to have an excuse. Got to have someone to blame. Welcome to America. All right, that'll do it for our show today. If you want to find our podcast, make sure you look us up at The Nest on YouTube. We'll also be posting to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We're just getting this puppy started, so hang with us a little bit. It's going to be slow at first, but we'll make sure to get you all the interactive content that you need. We'll also be inviting coaches, players on, and a whole lot more. Thank you for listening to our first episode of The Nest, and have yourself a very Golden Eagle day.